Hi, welcome back to Keeping History on Two Wheels, where we give you that little 10 or 15 minute snippet of history that makes the bigger picture just a little bit more complete. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's right over here. Don't forget to hit that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we do an upload. Today, we're talking about Sherman's march to the sea when he left Atlanta, headed to Savannah.
Today we delve into the historic journey of General Sherman's march to the sea, a campaign that has been etched into the annals of American history. This pivotal campaign during the American Civil War marked a significant turning point, not just in the war, but in the nation's history. General Sherman's bold and controversial strategy aimed to cripple the Confederacy's ability to wage war. Over the next 3 minutes, we'll explore the events, strategies, and impact of this monumental march. We'll look at the decisions made by Sherman and his officers, the hardships faced by the soldiers, and the lasting effects on the southern states. Join us as we uncover the story behind one of the most audacious military campaigns in American history. Here we see images of General Sherman alongside General Davis. Their leadership was crucial during this campaign. However, it wasn't without challenges. General Wheeler launched attacks from behind, adding a layer of complexity to their mission. And now we turn our attention to General Wheeler. Known for his strategic brilliance and relentless determination, Wheeler's attacks from the rear created significant hurdles for Sherman's forces. His cavalry, swift and elusive, struck with precision, disrupting supply lines and communication channels. These surprise assaults forced Sherman to constantly adapt his strategies, diverting resources and attention to counter Wheeler's maneuvers. The impact of Wheeler's tactics was profound, causing delays and complications that tested the resilience of Sherman's troops. Without background music, let's focus on the voice of Andy narrating this intense chapter of the march as we delve deeper into the challenges faced and the relentless spirit of General Wheeler's campaign.
During the fall and winter of 1864, Sherman's troops were making their way southeast out of Atlanta towards Savannah. They were broken into 4 columns, commanded by Generals Osterhaus, Blair, Williams, and Kilpatrick. This movement would become known as Sherman's March to the Sea. The march to the sea would leave farms decimated in its wake all along the march as the troops moved through the areas. They would free the slaves. Some of these newly freed slave men would become what's called pioneers. The pioneers would travel ahead of the troops, making the sandy roads passable for Sherman's troops and military equipment. When they would shore up the roads, and the troops and the equipment would travel through. But there was another group that would travel with the troop movements. This group would be called the contrabands, made up mostly of women and children and older men who could not work. The contrabands would become a burden to the Sherman's troops and their commanders. The troops had to feed them, and they slowed the troop movements to a crawl. This made following Sherman's orders to get to Savannah as quickly as possible almost impossible. Not being able to take the Union troops head on, the Confederate cavalry, commanded by Major General Joseph Wheeler, would hit the Union troops from behind and further irritate the troop movement. Once the Union was approaching Savannah, the four columns were joined by another coming out of Augusta. The column was commanded by Brigadier General Jefferson C. Davis, not to be confused with President Jeff Davis. As this column approached Savannah, it came upon Ebenezer Creek here, and it was imperative that General Davis get his troops across the creek as soon as possible. The Union troops were on a built-up road with swamps on both sides, and to the rear was General Wheeler's cavalry moving in quickly. It was what we call a choke point, and Davis had to move quickly. The pioneers and the troops quickly built a pontoon bridge, much like this one, and proceeded to cross the creek to safety and the additional 4 columns, and there was always safety in numbers. But the decision that General Davis would now make would go down in history. General Davis posted guards on the bridge and told the contrabands to wait until all the troops and equipment were over the bridge before proceeding across. Once his troops were across, he gave the order to go ahead and dismantle the bridge. This left the contrabands on the wrong side of the creek. Some estimates have the total number of contrabands at between 4,000 and 5,000 women and children and the elderly. When Wheeler's cavalry arrived, chaos ensued. His cavalry began slaughtering the contrabands, many of whom rather faced the swollen creek than faced the Confederate troops. There's not a total number but several hundred souls perished in the waters of the Ebenezer Creek, and those that didn't go into the water, well, they were either killed by the Confederates or returned to the plantations as runaway slaves. But General Davis counted on this being swept under the rug. That didn't happen. Union Colonel Charles D. Kerr of the 16th Illinois, who would later help raise an outcry over Davis's decision, wrote that with cries of anguish and despair, men and women and children rushed by the hundreds into the turbid stream, and many were drowned before our eyes. From what we learned afterwards of those who remained on land, their fate at the hands of Wheeler's troops were scarcely to be preferred. Consequently, it's hard to know how many drowned and how many got across, because some did, and how many were picked up by the Confederate cavalry. Wheeler reported thousands, said Charlie Crawford, president of the Georgia Battlefields Association, who has actually toured the site.
In conclusion, has provided a brief yet insightful glimpse into General Sherman's infamous march to the sea. By utilizing a collection of American Civil War-style videos and historical photographs, we have endeavored to highlight the key moments and significant figures that played pivotal roles in shaping this monumental event. From the strategic decisions made by General Sherman to the profound impact on the southern states, each element has been carefully selected to offer a comprehensive understanding. We hope this visual journey has enriched your knowledge and appreciation of this critical chapter in American history.
Thanks for coming to Keeping History on Two Wheels, and we hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. It's right over there. Don't forget to hit that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we do an upload. Always remember, every trip starts with a step, And well, that step, it starts with you.